guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing some Testhands here, going second this time for the pure Raviel deck. This is my Sacred Beast deck that takes a completely different variant where it actually focuses more on Raviel, and although it actually does focus on Raviel, or at least that's the intention of this deck, oddly enough the deck actually retains a lot of its original combos and playstyles from the original build, which definitely does make it quite good, but at the same time allowing you to be flexible and try out different particular variations. For instance, this case is going to be Raviel. Next time we're going to be trying out maybe Hamon and then Uriah as well. However, let's just not waste any more time talking about this and let's just begin. But of course, I would like to remind you guys to drop a like, share, comment, subscribe if you guys enjoyed this video, and also hit that bell notification. It definitely really helps. But without further ado, let's just begin. Alright, so here's the opening 6 cards of our hand here, which is not particularly the most amazing, but that's okay, because either way it doesn't really matter anyway. But what I do like about this is that you do have a Nibiru here, so assuming your opponent actually went first, obviously in this case, you do have a Disruptor, so that's definitely fantastic. And I'm going to assume the benefit of the doubt here, so I'm just going to bring out the Nibiru in this case. And so we're technically left with 5, but I'm going to activate the Terraforming, allowing us to search for a second copy of Fallen Paradise, which is no big deal of course, but with that being said, let's take a look and see where it is. So our second copy of Fallen Paradise would be right here. We want to empty out our deck as much as possible. Wow, that is surprising. It's all just stacked up. Just do a bit of reorganizing there, and we're going to shuffle up our deck because we have Allure of Darkness on the ready. Alright, so now let's actually activate our Allure of Darkness. We do have a dark target just in case, so that's fine. So we're going to draw 1 and we're going to draw 2 over here. Nice, we got Beckoning Beast, and we're definitely going to banish off the Dark Summoning Beast. It's always the intention anyway. We're going second. The Dark Summoning Beast doesn't really apply in this circumstance, so there's no need to go for it. So that's what I'm going to do there, just get rid of it, and now we're left with these 2 particular cards. So next here I want to activate, or at least normal summon out our Dark Beckoning Beast, and this will obviously allow us to add our Opening of the Spirit Gates. We can activate it immediately, and this will allow us to then search for whatever card that we actually want. In this case, I'm going to go for the Chaos Summoning Beast. I believe it's quite appropriate to go for this because I'm just going to show you guys what we're going to do next. So what we're going to do is go for our second normal summon, and that will be for the Chaos Summoning Beast. And what we're essentially going to do here is, let's see, we're going to take our Chaos Summoning Beast and we're going to take our Dark Beckoning Beast, and we simply just go for what we want. So in this particular case, we're just going to go for Pentastag and put it right there, and of course we'll have the actual card over here, or at least in this case it would be our token. So well, actually no, we do get Nibiru here, but yeah, essentially we'll have this here, and it will pretty much be with the Pentastag anyway for piercing damage, which is fantastic by the way, because that's obviously really strong. But at the same time we do have a few other options as well. For example, we do have the Super Poly, which will allow us to obviously go into further plays here, but we also have the 2 Fallen Paradise if we actually need to. So it's not particularly the most amazing, but it definitely gives us something to offer, because keep in mind you're dealing piercing damage, you have Pentastag on the field, and you get to follow up during the battle phase with a Super Poly as well, so you can just fuse your own Pentastag. And if your opponent doesn't have a Dark, that's definitely unfortunate. However, keep in mind you have plenty of targets to go into, you have a great variety here, so you know, don't hesitate to go into any kind of appropriate target you actually need to. It definitely can work out. And even so, let's say your opponent had 3 Link monsters, then obviously that gives you Almaduke, you have Starving Venom, you have Mud Dragon. I mean, there's plenty of options for you to go to, so you don't have to worry about that. But with that being said, this is a really simplistic combo. It doesn't really do anything beyond that. But yeah, with that being said, let's just move on to the next test stand. Alright, so we have our 6 cards here, definitely very nice. Again, we drew into a Nibiru, so we do get a Disruptor. Assuming the best case scenario, I'm just going to play out the Nibiru, but we do have, keep in mind, a lot of other cards to follow up on. For example, now we could actually just go for the Dark Beckoning Beast and start our plays off. We do have Caught by the Grave, so we can negate whenever we need to a hand trap, so that's definitely very nice. Otherwise, you just keep it in the hand until the end of the turn or whatever. But we're going to search for Opening of the Spirit Gates again, and this will obviously allow us to then go for whatever we actually want to. So I'm just going to take a look and see what we have here. I'm going to activate Opening of the Spirit Gates. It's pretty obvious what I can go for, but in this particular circumstance, it's better than the previous turn. So I'm just going to bring out the Chaos Summoning Beast, and we're going to do a second normal summon, tribute off the Chaos Summoning Beast, and this will allow us to summon out Uriah. In this particular circumstance, you could then activate your Fallen Paradise, and this will allow you to draw 2 cards. So I'm going to shuffle up my deck. And now we're going to draw 2 cards for the Fallen Paradise. 1 and 2. Alright, not particularly the most amazing, but that's okay. Because what we're going to do now is we're going to go for Exodius, shuffling back in our Chaos Summoning Beast, which obviously it's no big deal, but yeah, we'll just go for these 2 now. Exodius and Uriah, overlay them, and this will essentially allow us to go for our rank 10s, which is definitely very powerful. So you have your plentiful options right here, but you could just go for Gustav Max, detach 1, burn them, and then go for your Libe, which is going to be a huge whopping monster here. So that's definitely fantastic. Keep in mind that you have a Super Poly as well to follow up during the battle phase. So you're burning 2k, you have your Dreadnought Libe, which will deal another 4k, you have here 3k, and if that wasn't enough to OTK your opponent, just go for Super Poly. And keep in mind you have this here to prevent a hand trap anyway, so no big deal. Wow, that is a really insane hand here, but you know what, this is a Raviel focused deck, so it makes sense we're drawing into a bunch of the Raviels, but to think that we'll draw into our only 1 copies of the other Sacred Beasts is definitely very surprising. Our only play to start off is obviously Dark Beckoning Beast, allowing us to search for our Opening of the Spirit Gates. We could use Opening of the Spirit Gates to search for whatever we want. In this particular circumstance, I'm going to add our Chaos Summoning Beast. We're going to set that, of course, go for a second normal summon, Chaos Summoning Beast, tribute that off. So let me just do this right here. And this will allow us to bring out our Raviel. So that's definitely fantastic, of course. In this particular circumstance, you might be thinking, well, do you want to go for Fallen Paradise? You technically could if you actually wanted to. In this case, I could actually do some other things as well. For example, we could use Opening of the Spirit Gates to discard our Dark Summoning Beast, and this will allow us to summon out our Dark Summoning Beast again. And we're going to take the Dark Beckoning Beast and Dark Summoning Beast, and we're going to link them both away, allowing us to go for a Pentastag. Whoops, there we go. So let me just adjust the space a bit with right here. And from that, what we're essentially going to do is we could just banish off our Dark Summoning Beast, and we could banish off our Chaos Summoning Beast and search for our 2 cards. So firstly, we get to add any Sacred Beast. We're going to add our second copy of Raviel, which is fine. And then we're going to add our Fallen Paradise here and activate it. So now we're going to shuffle up our deck. And then we're going to draw 2 cards of Fallen Paradise. So 1, Allure of Darkness, and 2, Super Poly. Nice. I think I could just activate the Allure of Darkness anyway. So we're just going to activate that, and we're going to draw 2 cards and banish off one of our cards. So we have Exodius and a Chaos Summoning Beast. So in this case, it is interesting, but since we're playing 3 copies of Raviel, may as well just banish off one of them, and it will be okay. Now this might not look like much to you, but you could actually do quite a lot here. So with that being said, you could pretty much just discard the Raviel and boost this up, but at the same time, well, it pretty much just doubles it, so it's really powerful, plus the piercing damage with Testhands as well, plus the fact that you could just attack everything. It's just absolutely amazing. You're really in a good situation here. If you really wanted to just go beyond that, you could also summon out Exodius, shuffling back your cards, your resources back into your deck, which is obviously fantastic. But by going with an Exodius out on the field here, what you could do is after you attack with this, if it's not enough to go for an OTK during the battle phase, you have here Super Poly. So you're just going to use the Exodius and the Pentastag, which is guaranteed 2 darks, allowing you to go for your Starving Venom. Otherwise, if you know your opponent has some cards on the field, you could easily use their monsters instead. So definitely really amazing. This is what the deck is meant to be focusing on, the Raviel combo, and this is what we want. Playing this at 2 copies is pretty much just something we really want, for the fact that we want to see it in our hands to actually go for this combo here. It's a very nice and nifty combo, and it's just really fun to pull off. Alright, so definitely a very different variation here as to what we could potentially go for. Let's see, so firstly we're actually starting off here with an opening of the Spirit Gates, which is definitely a bit of a different way of playing out things, but we're just going to go for the Dark Beckoning Beast over here. And next we're going to go for, let's see, I do have Chaos Summoning Beast here, which is very nice, by the way. I'll keep that in the locks right there, but let's see, what can we do? We could normal summon out our Dark Beckoning Beast, and this will allow us to search for our Chaos Summoning Beast. Let's see, what else can we do here? We have our we do have Chaos Core, which is very nice, by the way, but I'm gonna second normal summon out our Chaos Summoning Beast, and this will allow us to tribute, allowing us to then go for our Mirage over here. And from that, what we could do is we could discard our Chaos Core, special summon out our Chaos Core, banish off our Chaos Summoning Beast, search for our Fallen Paradise. And what else can we do here? We could also just go for our Mirage, target the Chaos Core, and essentially what happens is you could essentially just send your one each of your cards. So we do have Hamon here, and this could be from the hand or deck, so it doesn't matter. So we have Hamon, we have a Raviel, and we're just gonna send off our Uriah as well. So let's just look for it over here. And from that, what we're essentially going to do is we're going to take our Dark Beckoning Beast and our Mirage, and we're just going to link these 2 away, and this will essentially allow us to then go for our, let's see, where is it, Anaconda. So that's definitely very fantastic over there. There is one thing I forgot, I think. I forgot to summon out a Sacred Beast. So with Chaos Summoning Beast, since I did the second normal summon, right? No, I didn't. That's fine, actually. So no, that's okay there, because I used it for our Mirage. I got lost there for a bit, but that's fine. We have Verte Anaconda now, so we can just use the effect, use it for Dimension Fusion Destruction, and this will obviously get rid of our 3 Sacred Beasts in the graveyard and banish them. And this will essentially allow us to bring out any of these cards here, which is obviously fantastic, of course. So it's up to you. Let's just go for the new one, because why not? You know, it's a bit fun anyway. But yeah, we could activate our Fallen Paradise, of course, and we could essentially just go for a draw 2. So I'm going to shuffle up my deck. And we're going to draw 2 off Fallen Paradise because we have Army Tile on the field. 1 and 2. Okay, great. So we do have follow-up plays with the Beckoning Beast, which is fantastic, of course. So we're just going to activate the Allure of Darkness, may as well, and draw 2 more cards. So 1 and 2. We got a spare Raviel, so I'll just banish off one of them. That's great. And we have Caught by the Grave and Super Poly as well. Fantastic. We have Raviel, 2 Raviels over here. We have a Dark Beckoning Beast as a follow-up turn as well, for a bit of play. And in our graveyard we have a few other monsters as well, just in case. But this is looking good. You could also just use the Chaos Core and the Anaconda and further Link Climb. So you could go for Pentastag going into a piercing damage there. That would also be fantastic with the armor tile out on the board, of course. So for example, I'm just going to do it right now. Take that, go for Pentastag. Yeah, go for piercing damage. You should win. If you can't, I don't know what you're doing, but you know, this is just pretty much a really fun video doing a bunch of test hands here and showing a bit of variation, a good variety of different combos that you could potentially pull off, and seeing that we're able to pull off 2 of my most favorite combos for this deck, one being the Raviel combo from the previous one and the next being this armor tile combo. Just absolutely fantastic. Really happy about that. But that's pretty much it for today's video, so I do hope you guys actually enjoy this. Let me know if you actually want to see a Hamon version or a Uriah version of this deck as well, because I am definitely keen on actually building those. However, with that being said, I do hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you all next time.